Some car mods are banned, frowned upon, or technically illegal, yet they actually make your car run better. From quicker throttle response to real horsepower gains, these tweaks deliver results most drivers never experience. They're not in your manual. Dealers won't mention them, but enthusiasts know the truth. Today, we reveal 10 forbidden upgrades that unlock real performance. And the final one? So powerful, even pro tuners debate whether it should be street legal. Here's the mod that law enforcement agencies specifically train officers to spot. Number 10, Catalytic Converter Delete. Removing your catalytic converter is illegal in all 50 states under the Clean Air Act, but it's one of the most effective ways to increase exhaust flow and horsepower. The controversy isn't just legal, it's environmental and ethical, sparking heated debates between performance enthusiasts and environmental advocates. Catalytic converters restrict exhaust flow by forcing gases through honeycomb structures coated with precious metals. This creates back pressure that reduces engine efficiency. A straight pipe replacement can free up 10 to 20 horsepower depending on your engine, while improving throttle response and creating that aggressive exhaust note many enthusiasts crave. The performance gains are real and measurable. Without the restriction, engines breathe more freely, especially at higher revolutions per minute where back pressure becomes most problematic. Turbocharged engines see even greater benefits since reduced back pressure allows turbos to spool faster and maintain higher boost levels. However, the legal risks are severe. Federal fines can reach $2,500 per violation, and many states require emissions testing that will immediately fail without catalytic converters. Some shops won't even work on vehicles with deleted cats. Insurance companies may refuse coverage if they discover modifications that violate federal emissions standards. The environmental impact is significant. Catalytic converters reduce harmful emissions by up to 90%. Nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and hydrocarbons all increase dramatically without proper catalytic conversion. This mod forces you to choose between personal performance gains and environmental responsibility. Most controversial of all, some track-only vehicles and off-road builds legitimately benefit from this modification, but the temptation to run them on public roads creates ongoing legal and ethical dilemmas. But if removing hardware feels risky, this next one doesn't touch a wrench, just your car's brain. At number 9, Engine Control Unit Tuning for Emissions Defeat. Reflashing your engine control unit to disable emissions controls is federally illegal, but can unlock significant performance potential that manufacturers deliberately restrict. This modification exists in a legal gray area that varies by state and application, making it one of the most controversial computer-based upgrades available. Modern engines run rich fuel mixtures and conservative timing to meet emission standards, often leaving 20 to 50 horsepower on the table. Professional tuning can optimize air-fuel ratios, advance ignition timing, and disable systems like exhaust gas recirculation that reduce performance. The results are immediate: better throttle response, increased power, and improved fuel economy under certain driving conditions. The controversy stems from the legal framework. The Clean Air Act prohibits tampering with emissions controls, but enforcement varies widely. Some states never inspect tuning modifications, while others use sophisticated testing equipment that can detect ECU tampering. California's Air Resources Board has become particularly aggressive about prosecuting tuners and shops. Professional tuners argue that proper calibration actually improves engine longevity by eliminating the stress caused by overly conservative factory settings. Engines run cooler, NOx sensors trigger less frequently, and components like carbon buildup from excessive exhaust gas recirculation can be eliminated. The technical execution requires expertise. Amateur tuning can destroy engines quickly. Professional shops charge $500 to $2,000 for custom tuning, but the legal risks have forced many to stop offering emissions-related modifications. Online tuning has filled this gap, but quality varies dramatically. Detection methods continue evolving. Some manufacturers now use tamper-evident ECU seals, while others monitor for non-factory calibration files during warranty service. The cat and mouse game between tuners and regulators shows no signs of slowing. Next up, a mod so common it seems harmless, but one sensor tweak makes it illegal. Number 8. Cold air intake with mass airflow sensor modification. Installing aftermarket cold air intakes with modified mass airflow sensor calibration creates measurable performance gains, but violates federal tampering laws in most applications. The controversy centers on whether intake modifications constitute illegal emissions tampering or legitimate performance enhancement. Factory air intake systems prioritize noise reduction and packaging constraints over airflow efficiency. Aftermarket cold air intakes relocate the air filter outside the hot engine bay, providing denser air that contains more oxygen per cubic inch. Combined with larger diameter tubing and high-flow filters, these systems can increase airflow by 20 to 30%. The legal complications arise from how these intakes affect emissions equipment. Many require recalibrating or relocating the mass airflow sensor, which measures incoming air for fuel injection calculations. Any modification to emissions-related sensors technically violates federal law, even if the overall emissions impact is minimal or positive. Performance benefits extend beyond raw horsepower. Cooler intake air reduces knock tendency, allowing more aggressive timing advance. Turbocharged engines see particularly dramatic gains since cooler air increases turbo efficiency and reduces inlet temperatures. Some setups gain 15 to 25 horsepower with proper tuning. The controversy intensifies with race use only, labeling that manufacturers use to avoid legal liability. These products clearly improve street performance, but the legal fiction of track-only use creates regulatory confusion. Many enthusiasts install them anyway, gambling that enforcement focuses on more obvious violations. Installation quality matters significantly. Poorly designed intakes can actually reduce performance by creating turbulence or heat soak issues. Professional installation and tuning maximize benefits while minimizing detection risks, but costs can exceed $1,500 for complete systems. Want performance you can hear? This next one makes sure everyone else hears it too. Number 7. Resonator and Muffler delete systems. Removing resonators and mufflers creates dramatic performance gains and aggressive exhaust notes, but violates noise ordinances in most municipalities and can trigger emissions violations depending on your local regulations. This modification sits at the intersection of performance enhancement and noise pollution law. Factory exhaust systems use multiple restrictions to meet noise regulations that often cap sound levels at 75 to 80 decibels at highway speeds. Resonators cancel specific frequencies, while mufflers use baffles and packing material to reduce overall volume. These components create significant back pressure that limits engine breathing, especially at high revolutions per minute. Straight pipe replacements eliminate this restriction, typically freeing 5 to 15 horsepower depending on the engine and existing exhaust design. The benefits increase with engine modifications. Turbocharged and supercharged engines see larger gains since forced induction amplifies the effects of reduced back pressure. Legal complications vary dramatically by location. Some areas have no noise enforcement, while others actively ticket vehicles exceeding decibel limits. California's exhaust noise laws are particularly strict, with fines reaching $1,000 for violations. Many areas also prohibit any modifications to factory exhaust systems, regardless of noise levels. The controversy extends beyond legal issues to social responsibility. Loud exhausts create noise pollution that affects entire neighborhoods, leading to conflicts between enthusiasts and residents. Some car communities have been banned from certain areas due to excessive noise complaints. Quality straight pipe fabrication requires professional welding and proper tubing diameter selection. Amateur installations often create drone frequencies that make highway driving unbearable. Professional systems cost $300 to $800, but require careful legal research before installation. You'll never see this mod unless you crawl under the car, but its impact is huge. Number 6. Fuel system return line modification. Installing aftermarket fuel return systems bypasses emissions-related fuel vapor recovery systems while improving fuel delivery consistency, creating a modification that's technically illegal but nearly impossible to detect during routine inspections. This represents one of the most technically sophisticated, controversial modifications available. Modern vehicles use returnless fuel systems that rely on fuel pressure regulators inside the tank to meet emission standards. These systems prevent fuel vapors from escaping, but can cause fuel delivery inconsistencies under high-demand conditions. Aftermarket return systems install external regulators and return lines that provide consistent fuel pressure but bypass vapor recovery systems. The performance benefits become apparent during aggressive driving or modified engines. Consistent fuel pressure prevents lean conditions that can cause engine knock or damage. Turbocharged engines particularly benefit since boost pressure can overwhelm returnless systems, causing dangerous fuel starvation. Professional racing applications almost universally use return systems for reliability. Legal issues stem from vapor emissions regulations that require capturing fuel vapors for incineration in the engine. Return systems typically vent these vapors to the atmosphere, violating Clean Air Act provisions. However, the modification is virtually undetectable unless inspectors specifically look for aftermarket fuel lines and regulators. Installation complexity requires fuel system expertise and proper safety procedures. Fuel system modifications present fire hazards if executed incorrectly, making professional installation essential. Quality components from manufacturers like Aeromotive or Fuel Injector Clinic cost $400 to $1,200 depending on complexity. The controversy centers on risk versus reward. The modification provides genuine safety and performance benefits for modified engines, but the legal and safety risks limit it to serious enthusiasts with proper technical knowledge. The next mod upgrades your ride and handling in ways you'll feel immediately. Number 5. Airbag suspension conversion for track use. Converting factory suspension to aftermarket airbag systems creates dramatic handling improvements and variable ride height adjustment, but violates Department of Transportation safety standards and most state vehicle inspection requirements. This modification exemplifies the conflict between performance enhancement and regulatory compliance. Factory suspension systems compromise between comfort, safety, and handling to meet mass-market requirements. Aftermarket airbag systems allow infinite adjustment of ride height, spring rates, and damping characteristics. Track-focused setups can lower vehicles beyond factory limits while maintaining proper suspension geometry, dramatically improving aerodynamics and handling. The performance advantages are substantial. Properly calibrated airbag systems provide better weight transfer control during cornering and braking. The ability to raise ride height for parking or speed bumps while lowering for highway driving offers versatility impossible with static suspensions. Some systems incorporate electronic damping control that adjusts characteristics in real time. Legal complications arise from safety regulations governing suspension modifications. Most states prohibit alterations that change vehicle ride height beyond manufacturer specifications. Insurance companies often void coverage for vehicles with modified suspension systems, particularly after accidents. Federal motor vehicle safety standards may also be violated depending on the extent of modifications. The controversy intensifies with installation quality issues. Improper airbag suspension installation can cause catastrophic failures that endanger occupants and other drivers. Professional installation by experienced shops costs $3,000 to $8,000 but ensures proper safety margins and functionality. Detection varies by inspection rigor. Some areas never check suspension modifications, while others specifically target lowered vehicles. The visual obviousness of extreme ride height changes makes this modification impossible to hide from law enforcement. If you're learning something new here, smash that like button. and subscribe if you're the kind of driver who'd rather outsmart the system than follow it. At number 4, variable valve timing elimination. Disabling or removing variable valve timing systems eliminates complexity while improving high revolutions per minute performance, but violates emissions regulations since these systems optimize combustion efficiency across different engine speeds. This modification represents the ongoing tension between simplicity and regulatory compliance. Variable valve timing systems, like Honda's valve timing, electronic control, or Toyota's variable valve timing, with intelligence change, camshaft timing to optimize performance and emissions across different engine speeds. While effective for emissions compliance, these systems add complexity and can limit peak performance potential. Elimination typically involves installing fixed timing gears or camshafts that optimize for high-performance applications. The results include more aggressive cam timing, higher redline capability, and simplified maintenance. Race engines particularly benefit since consistent valve timing maximizes power output at high revolutions per minute, where variable valve timing systems often become limitations. The legal issues stem from emissions impact. Variable valve timing systems significantly reduce nitrogen oxide and hydrocarbon emissions during low-load operation. Removing them increases emissions beyond legal limits in most jurisdictions. The Environmental Protection Agency specifically prohibits tampering with these systems under Clean Air Act provisions. Performance gains depend on application and supporting modifications. Naturally aspirated engines with aggressive camshafts see the largest benefits, while stock engines may actually lose power and drivability. Professional tuning is essential to realize benefits without causing reliability issues. The controversy extends to warranty considerations. Manufacturers can void warranties for variable valve timing modifications even if they don't directly cause failures. Detection requires technical knowledge, making this modification relatively safe from casual inspection, but vulnerable to dealership service departments. The next mod gives you power when you want it and silence when you don't. Number 3, straight pipe exhaust with bypass systems. Installing straight pipe exhausts with electronic bypass valves creates the ultimate exhaust flow while maintaining the ability to meet noise regulations when needed. But the intentional circumvention of noise ordinances makes this modification particularly controversial among law enforcement and communities. These systems use electronically controlled valves that can instantly switch between quiet operation and unrestricted straight pipe flow. During normal driving, or when passing noise inspections, the valves route exhaust through mufflers and resonators. For performance driving, the valves open to provide unrestricted flow directly to the atmosphere. The performance benefits combine the best of both worlds: full restriction elimination when desired with legal compliance when necessary. High-performance engines see substantial gains from unrestricted flow, particularly at high revolutions per minute, where back pressure becomes most limiting. Some systems provide 20 to 30 horsepower gains in straight pipe mode. Legal complications arise from the intentional circumvention aspect. Many jurisdictions specifically prohibit cut-out systems designed to bypass noise controls, even if they're not actively being used during inspection. The ability to instantly switch between compliance and violation makes these systems particularly problematic for law enforcement. Installation complexity requires electrical integration with vehicle systems or aftermarket controllers. Professional systems from manufacturers like Borla or Corsa cost $2,000 to $5,000, but provide seamless operation and quality construction. Cheaper systems often fail or create annoying drone frequencies. The social controversy centers on noise pollution responsibility. These systems enable antisocial behavior while maintaining plausible deniability during inspections. Many car communities have been restricted or banned due to excessive noise from bypass system abuse. The next mod reduces drivetrain loss and gives you full control over shifting. Number 2. Manual transmission conversion in automatic-only vehicles. Converting vehicles originally equipped with automatic transmissions to manual transmissions creates dramatic performance improvements and driving engagement, but violates federal safety standards and most state title and registration requirements. This modification represents the most complex and controversial drivetrain alteration possible. Many high-performance vehicles are only offered with automatic transmissions due to emissions requirements, fuel economy standards, or manufacturer cost considerations. Manual conversions restore the direct connection between driver and powertrain while eliminating parasitic losses from torque converters and complex valve bodies. Performance benefits extend far beyond horsepower gains. Manual transmissions provide better power delivery control, faster gear changes for aggressive driving, and improved engine braking. Properly executed conversions can reduce quarter-mile times by several tenths, while dramatically improving track performance and driving enjoyment. The legal complications are extensive. Federal motor vehicle safety standards require specific crashworthiness testing for transmission tunnel configurations. State title and registration systems may not accommodate drivetrain changes, creating insurance and legal ownership issues. Emissions compliance becomes nearly impossible since original certification no longer applies. Technical execution requires extensive fabrication expertise. Transmission tunnel modifications, clutch pedal installation, hydraulic system integration, and electrical adaptation demand professional-level skills. Quality conversions cost $8,000 to $15,000 and require months of work. The controversy extends to safety concerns. Improper installation can cause catastrophic failures during accidents. Insurance companies typically refuse coverage for extensively modified vehicles, while law enforcement may impound vehicles that no longer match title descriptions. Despite legal risks, the conversion community continues growing as enthusiasts prioritize driving experience over regulatory compliance. The final mod boosts power by up to 60%, but only if you're ready to rewire your entire fuel system. Number 1. Engine Control Unit, reflash for racing fuel. Engine control units specifically for racing fuel like E85 ethanol or 100 plus octane, unleaded, creates massive power gains that can exceed 30 to 50% increases, but makes vehicles completely non-compliant with emissions standards and illegal for street use in all jurisdictions. Racing fuels allow dramatically more aggressive tuning than pump gasoline. E85 ethanol has an octane rating around 105, enabling timing advance and boost levels impossible with 91 to 93 octane pump gas. The alcohol content also provides internal cooling effects that reduce knock tendency and allow higher compression ratios. The power gains are staggering. Turbocharged engines commonly see 40 to 60% power increases with proper E85 tuning. The fuel's properties enable boost levels that would destroy engines on pump gas while maintaining safe combustion margins. Naturally, aspirated engines benefit from compression ratio increases and aggressive timing advance. Legal issues make this modification completely impossible for street use. Racing fuel tuning bypasses all emissions controls and creates pollution levels far exceeding legal limits. The fuels themselves may not be legal for highway use, and the modifications void all emissions compliance certifications. The technical requirements are extensive. Fuel system upgrades are mandatory, since E85 requires 30 to 40% more fuel volume than gasoline. Injectors, fuel pumps, and lines must be upgraded to handle both the volume increase and alcohol compatibility. Professional tuning is absolutely essential to prevent engine damage. The ultimate controversy? This modification creates the most dramatic performance improvements possible while being completely illegal for street use, forcing enthusiasts to choose between maximum performance and legal compliance. These 10 mods prove that rule breakers get results. Like and subscribe if you're all about smarter performance. Which one would you actually try? Drop it in the comments. And if you think mods are crazy, wait till you see what your car can already do. Click here for 25 secret car features you don't know about.